How are we doing? Thank you all for joining me. I apologize to those who were there earlier. I hate StreamYard, but we will get into it. Lauren, you want to sing with me?
Yes, let's get it.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Sing it along.
Come on in the room.
In the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on?
Did you see my government on there? I'm supposed to be at work.
In the room. I've been trying to get her to do my intro for years. Welcome to my life.
They gotta pay me. Those people abuse me, they have to pay me.
They do not abuse you. You just have terrible takes on Giselle. Terrible takes. Missy said, okay, sister, start with the vocals. Miss Gigi said, yes, Lauren Star, give us a little something. Hey, Tia, how are you? Hey, Denard. Hey, Black Lavender. Hey, I am Rachel. Denard said, these couples are married at first sight UK are really sweet so far. I only see 2 staying together out of the 4 we've seen. I think so, too.
Denard said, let's get into it.
Right?
I
think so, too. I will also say this. I think that we in the U.S. are getting these late. Good day. I think we're getting these late. I don't, because I was looking up when the next episode comes on, and it comes on later tonight. And I saw that the last episode was like August 22nd or something. So I feel like we are months and months late. So I feel like my UK people probably already know what happened. So yeah. Thank you, DGF. Please make sure you hit the like button when you come on in the room. Hey, love like you are. How are you doing? Hey, Vaca. Hey, Drewski. Hey, Dr. M. Miss Brown Sugar said, hello, Star family. Happy Friday Eve. I know that's right. Miss Brown Sugar, let's talk about it. Miss Brown Sugar said, did our live get pushed back to 3 p.m. Pacific time? I'm multitasking at work, but may miss y'all. This is the thing. This was the time it was supposed to be. Why I hate StreamYard is because the way you set this up is just very confusing. So they give you the time and date that your live was created, while also putting it next to the time and date that your live is supposed to go live. So I tend to make these really late, like right after I watch the episode, I make the live. But if I make them like right before midnight or at midnight, the date changes, and it confuses me every time. Like I normally triple checking everything, and I thought I did, but then I realized that I had 2 lives at the same time on the same date, when one was supposed to be today and one was supposed to be later. So I had to change that up, and I'm so sorry about the confusion. That's why I hate StreamYard. I know you guys love it, right? From your end, it's great. From this end, they just make things so much harder than they have to be, and I am constantly looking for a better platform. But yeah, that's what happened today, and I'm really, really sorry. Miss Gigi said, finally, I was waiting at the door. Hey, Yocrates, how are you? Zena said, sing. They're so messy. It's just like, it just does not have to be this difficult. And I'm telling you, when I figure out another platform, we're out of here. We're out of here. You know, I do not know how to say this, and I do not want to pull a Portia, but we're going to try it. Hey, Pseudonym, how are you? Vaca said, hey, I knew I should give it an hour after the scheduled time. Looks like I'm right on time. Yes, you are. Was that a read? Midwife K said, yes, y'all are very late for Married at First Sight UK. I'm so upset. But I'm gonna watch and I'm still gonna review because I really do like it. Hey IA, how are you? Busola said, hey Nikki and Star fam coming in with the like. Thank you, Busola. Shamiko said, hey Nikki, sending love from St. Kitts. What's up? I literally just yesterday, I believe, the day before yesterday, I put that on my places to travel, like my bucket list, because I was like, I think it was you who mentioned that that's where you're coming in live from, and I looked it up, and I'm amazed. I can't wait to go. I have tried Ecamm. Ecamm to me just Ecamm, and I tried it before. I just felt like Ecamm just also makes things a lot more difficult than they have to be. I did like that Ecamm streamed in 4K. I love the clarity of the videos, but I just don't think it needs to be this difficult. I really, really, really don't. So I'm just currently auditioning different platforms, streaming platforms, and we'll see. We'll see. Cloud said, greetings from Europe. Have you also checked out Married at First Sight Australia? It's currently airing and this season has some interesting cast. Listen, a lot of you guys have asked me to watch it. I can't watch it in the US. I can't watch it. I don't know where I could watch it like currently. So I'm just like with Married at First Sight UK, I'm just going to have to wait. I'm going to have to wait. Hey, Dolce Delicious, no worries. You're at the one you should be at. Hey, Mela, how are you? Hey, Shed Pearl. Blue Jay said, hey, Nikki, just woke up and saw your live. Yay. Thank you for joining me. Audrey O said, I can't believe I was just thinking, is Nikki doing a live and will she recap Vanderpump Rules? And here she is with the live. Please start with Vanderpump Rules and Real Housewives of New Jersey. I am actually going to talk about all things Vanderpump Rules tomorrow at child. Don't let me get the lion. Let me check StreamYard. I'm gonna check YouTube. I like how YouTube looks better. See, this is the thing. I actually prefer YouTube Live over StreamYard. It's just that YouTube Live just needs to update their streaming service. It's the camera quality is not great on their end. And that's pretty much my only issue with it is the camera quality. If the camera quality was better, I would stream on YouTube Live, but the camera quality is just terrible. Just terrible. Let me look at my lives that I have coming up so I can give you the right time. I'm doing a pop culture live. I am doing that tomorrow, Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then I am doing a Vanderpump Rules live. I am doing that tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's what's happening tomorrow. So 2 p.m. Vanderpump Rules, just basically Bravo news. So anything that comes up concerning Bravo, I'll talk about that too, because, the Bravo universe is just doing a lot. But I'm going to leave all of that space just to talk about all things Vanderpump, because it's just like something comes out every day. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And I will say it tomorrow, especially because I'm saying it today. But they are all too old for this nonsense. This is a mess. This is a mess. Midwife K said, Married at First Sight UK and Married at First Sight Australia are still good. Like them better than the US version. No spoilers from me. Thank you. Yeah, I am currently obsessed with Married at First Sight UK. I like the way they do it far better than I like the US. And I think that, didn't Married at First Sight start in the UK? I feel like America is a version that came after. Let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Hey, Home with Riz, how are you? Said Home with Riz said, hey guys, so glad to catch you live. I am so sick. Morning sickness is no joke, but I'm so glad to be in the room. Oh, thank you for being here. Rest up, mama. Rest up. Blue Jay said, I heard you can hook up a camera to get better quality for YouTube Live. If that's the case, I will actually look into that. I don't like StreamYard. It's more difficult than it needs to be. You guys have no idea how many times I have to check to make sure the live is at the right time, because for some reason they need to show me when I created it, like what time I created it and what date. And I'm like, I don't need that. I just need to know what date and time it's going to happen so that I could be prepared for that. And thank the Lord, because I would have jumped on here and not known. Thank the Lord, because I was in here putting in pictures from one of the shows that we're going to review, because I wanted to talk about certain people in the cast. And I saw that time and I was just like, why do I have 2 lives at the same time on the same day? I never do 3 lives. Like, we're not in the well, it's not the beginning of the pandemic anymore. And then I saw the time and I was like, oh my God. So I was able to change it, but you guys are probably already here waiting for that live. So sorry. I know at Cloud said, I love Married at First Sight Australia. It's so good, Nikki. I can usually find the new episodes on YouTube around midday. I usually watch with a VPN, but haven't had to. Oh, okay. Then I might just check that out. More Marga Gomez. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you, Marga. It's Latasha said, do you think YouTube would have it together since it's literally what the app is? I don't know why they don't do that. It's so ridiculous how they give that over to somebody else to make money off of them. Weird. April said, hi, Nikki and Star family. Hi, April. Blue Jay said, I believe I saw other YouTubers using their camera to go live with. Well, you can do that with pretty much any platform. I'm not sure with YouTube, so I will look into that, because if I can do that, then let's go. Let's go. Speaking of let's go, let's get into... what's the first one that we're going to talk about today? Let's get into Miami, because that was good and that'll be quick. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Miami. We'll do Miami, Jersey, Married at First Sight, Houston, and then end with Married at First Sight, UK. Boy, I really want to say, let's talk about it. Does Marcus Jordan have a job? He's always available to travel with Larsa. Now, his job could just be being a trust fund kid. Like that wouldn't be odd to me if he's just living off of his father's wealth. But I just do not see, and I don't care how rich the person is, I do not see a Black American man allowing his 30-something son to just live off of his, live off of the wealth that he required after being a Black American who was not born into privilege, right? I just do not see him allowing his son to just spend his money with no job. I just don't see that. I do, especially a Black American who's like first generation wealth. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he would have him working for something. So it's just very weird that his schedule is always clear to travel with Larsa, which leads which leads me to the fact that I believe that this relationship is a PR stunt. I absolutely believe that this relationship is a PR stunt, because it just, for one, it doesn't make sense, right? But it's shocking, it's salacious, and everybody is talking about it. And if you're not talking about Larsa on the Real Housewives of Miami, because no shade, she just didn't give much this season, then you're talking about her off the show with all of her dealings that she's doing with Marcus Jordan. And I think that this is a PR stunt that is extremely beneficial for the both of them, because we're talking about them. And I think if Marcus is going to try to push something on the audience that probably his father's wealth can't get the audience that he's trying to attract their attention, this relationship with Larsa will. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Speaking of Larsa, out of all of the reunion looks, I thought that her look was the least gaggable. I didn't like this. I didn't think that it fit her properly. I'm kind of over, and a lot of them have done this, but I'm kind of over the panty trend with the ball gown. I don't know what it's called, but I'm just like over it at this point. It's not as shocking and jarring as it was, 6 years ago. Now it's just kind of played out right along with the bodysuits. Like, as soon as Beyonce wore a bedazzled bodysuit, everybody was in one. And I love me a bedazzled bodysuit, but I just feel like the time has come for us to stop faking like these are statement pieces, right? So I felt like everybody really brought it. I didn't like, everything, but out of the looks, this was one of the reunion looks where I was just like, wow, everybody, even if I don't like the choices that they made with their garments, they're taking a risk. And this just didn't seem like a risk. It just seemed really outdated. The hair and makeup is great though. I just did this outfit. I was like, It also seems very uncomfortable with this material. I didn't like it. I felt like she could have got something a little bit more jarring and dramatic and not be this. And especially when your garment matches your skin tone, it has to be gaggable, right? Like you have to be doing something with embellishments that it looks like your skin, right? The outfit that I can think about right off bat is Beyonce's. I don't know what year, but it's when she had the high blonde pony for the Met Gala, and she had this dress where the material was the same color as her skin, but she had like these multicolor jewels like sewn onto the garment. So it looked like she was naked and just covered in jewels. If Larsa would have went with something like that, I would have liked it a bit more, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. And I felt like she could have done more. I think it was just a poor fit, poor execution, and the material was just not my favorite, and it didn't pop on camera. Kiki, I actually really love this. It's a very, very simple look, but I feel like the hair and makeup really set this outfit up. And I also think because of her skin color, she's just looks stunning. Stunning. And I mean, she's currently a model. I was going to say former, but she's still working as a model. So she knows how to pose and she knows what looks good on her body. And this was out the park. Out the park, loved it. Lisa, like again, I'm sick of the panty trend, but I guess because I got the theme behind this, where she was just like, I'm wearing this color because I'm essentially, at the funeral of my wedding and I'm of my marriage, and I'm like, if you were married to a man like Lenny, and this is how you funeralize that union, then this is how you show up. I'm here for it. I will accept it. I feel like the theme just makes it a bit more interesting for me. And I think she looked cute. I think that she looked really, really cute. Marisol ate this. She looked just wealthy and, just money. She looked like money. I don't know if this was Prada, but it was giving me Prada from the shoulders. She looked great. I love this look. It looks even better on camera. That is the thing I always say about these housewives. Well, not housewives, but just anybody in general who is going to be filmed on a red carpet or, in a performance or a stage or whatever. If your outfit looks great in pictures, amazing. You have to also make sure, if there's going to be video, that the outfit gives the same look and feel on camera that it does in your still pictures. Here's the thing. The better way to execute an outfit like this, which is what Marisol did, is to have it eat in pictures and then gag you in video. That's what you want to go for. And I think she did it. I loved it. Gertie, I did not like this in pictures. But under those HD cameras and lights, this looks stunning. Everywhere she turned, she was sparkling. I loved it on film. Did not like it in pictures. But I still think, like, I don't hate it, though. You know what I mean? Like, this is still a really good look. I just feel like the camera, this picture didn't do it any justice. Alexia, I expected her to eat down, right? Because it's Alexia, right? The Cuban Barbie with all of the drug kingpin money. I would have thought that she would have killed this, but I didn't get that from her. It just looks like the sequin embellishment on her dress is choking her. And I don't know if that's what she was going for. Like, she's literally being choked by a sequins demon. Wasn't for me. I love her, but this wasn't for me either. This was not for me either. It just was giving me 2003 Balmain. And even then, you know what I mean? That look would have ate. Dr. Nicole, I wanted better. You were my girl. I wanted better for you, but this just, it did not give. Where is Adriana? Hold on, I had Adriana up here. Where's her look? I don't know why it didn't load. Oh, there it is. Adriana, I love to look. I felt like it fit her well. I felt like it was age appropriate. It didn't gag me, but it looks great under those cameras. But I will say, out of everybody's look, the look that I just disliked the most was Larsa. I felt like it looked cheap next to everything. Even though I did not like Dr. Nicole's look, it did something that just Larsa just did not give. But that's my take on the reunion looks. Let's get back to the reunion. So Alexia tried to read Dr. Nicole because Andy was asking Dr. Nicole about the $40 million that her fiance made off of the home that he bought for $13 million. So she was clarifying. She was just like, the house was not $40 million. We sold it for $40 million, but we bought it for $13 million. And as she's doing the explanation, she was just like, we bought it for $13 million and we flipped it and we sold it for 40. And Alexia was just like, but who got that money, right? Your Anthony got that money, your fiance. That wasn't your money. And Dr. Nicole looked at her without missing a beat. She said, well, his money is my money. I spend it like it's mine. So like, girl, you're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. That did not faze her one bit. I will say, I was a little taken aback that Dr. Nicole had so much beef with Alexia. Like right off the gate, she had beef with Alexia because Alexia been throwing jabs at her, right? But throughout the season, Dr. Nicole was always trying to make it work and be friends with her. At this reunion, oh baby, the gloves were off. She was sick of her. Every time Alexia spoke, Dr. Nicole was right there. Oh, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And I was just very shocked that she was speaking to Alexia like that after watching how she like pleaded for her friendship this season. So maybe she watched the show and didn't like how, she was being treated. And she finally woke up and started respecting herself and realized that she's that girl, not Alexia. Hopefully that's it. Because I feel like I always have to do this with Jen Aiden, Candace Dillard Bassett, and now Dr. Nicole. I always have to like coach them through the TV screen and be like, just because you're the youngest, just because you're the newest, does not mean that you have to take these ladies garbage. You are on the same platform that they are. You deserve respect as well. Thankfully, Candace has finally woken up to the works of Giselle. We're still waiting for her to wake up and see what the hell is going on with her relationship with Robin. But it seems like Dr. Nicole got Alexia's number, and I'm so happy that our girl finally woke up. Lisa, even throughout the season and at the reunion, has been so chill, talking about her divorce to Liddy. Like, we have actually seen her cry and have breakdowns. And I'm not saying that we as an audience need to see her be reduced to nothing to believe her. I'm just saying that from what I've seen of her, she's taking this like a champ. You know what I mean? I would have fought Lenny and his mother at this point on camera. Like that man was and still is completely awful to that woman. Awful to her. Like when they played back the audio of that footage of Lenny talking about he doesn't want to have sex with his wife because then he would be cheating on the woman that he's in love with. Lisa was just like, yeah, that confirmed everything. And I'm like, you chill. I would have called that man every name under the sun that his enemy would have said about him. You know what I mean? I just feel like she is really just taking this whole situation like a champ, and good on her. Good on her. Maybe she's just being advised by really good lawyers, but baby, Lenny would have had some grits on that mug, all over that face, all over them hair plugs, grits all in them incisions on them hair plugs. Absolutely. But Lisa's taking everything like just in stride. She's really, really chill. So our girl, Miss Lisa, has found love again with Andy said that he was a tech mogul. I will say, Lisa, from what I've seen of him thus far, your new man gives me fan of the show. Stay woke. That's all I'm saying. He gives me fan of the show. Larsa, you are too old. to be lying about the work that you have gotten done. Like, ma'am, even when the show showed a flashback of what your butt used to look like, you still sat there on your fake behind and was saying, "Oh no, I just gained weight." Why? Like, I just don't understand why you're lying. You live in Miami. There is footage and video of you recently before you got your body done and your face done. Who cares? You hang with the Kardashians, or you used to hang with the Kardashians. Like, that just comes with it. Everybody that they get close to, ends up looking like Buff Squidward. Like, that's just what happens, right? So who cares? You work in the entertainment industry. Everybody gets a little nip and tuck. You know what I mean? Unless you're Angela Bassett. Ciao. I don't know how she do it, because the streets is clean on her. The streets is clean on her. Ain't nobody saying that she go to anybody. They saying that's just her. Wow. But I'm just like, girl, like, I don't understand. Because at this point, with you lying about it, you just look weird, like unwell. It doesn't look good for you to lie about it. I think it would work better for you if you own it. And you're just like, you know what? This is my body. I can do whatever I want with it. It looks good, so I'm gonna keep it. Something like that. But you're just lying. You're just lying. And I feel like you're lying because you think this lie is believable. Nobody believes it. And it's not just that your legs don't match the butt, right? It's that we all know what your body looks like. And we all know, physics alone knows that your body is not going to do that if you gain 10 pounds. Like, that's just not going to happen. I could not believe that she sat there at her big age and was just like, yeah, this is my real butt. I just gained weight. And I feel like she's doing that because that's what the Kardashians were doing. They used to go on talk shows and they would get like x-rays and, and show, people that it's like there's nothing foreign in their body, but that's just a fat transfer, right? You did not have that behind before. You gained 15 pounds, got that 15 pounds sucked out of your thighs and got it formed into your butt to give you this butt. That's why it looks and moves the way it does, right? That's why when you work out, it goes down a bit. When you lose a bit of weight, it goes down a bit. It would not move if it was some kind of foreign substance, right? If it were implants. But because this is just real fat from your body, it moves and shapes and forms like the fat that would be on an actual buttocks, right? Because it is fat on a buttocks. It just wasn't there. It was put there by a doctor. So I just don't understand why she's lying about it. It was so weird for her to sit there and tell that lie, and we're like, so everybody gonna act like this is the truth? Okay. Girl, if you like it, I love it. If you like it, I loved it. I'm so glad that Marisol confirmed that she was just branding, the drinks and stuff that she has coming out later. And I think she's coming out with a drink line and then accessories for the drink line. She has a partner that she's going in on this with. And aside from the partner that she's going in on it with, another partner is Bravo, because thanks to Bethany Frankel, you cannot advertise nothing on that show without Bravo getting a cut. Ciao. So anyway, Marisol at this reunion, she just, informed everyone that she does not have a drinking problem, that what she was doing on the show was branding, was doing branding for her drink company. And you know what? I'm glad that that's it, right? I'm glad that she's not, doing all this drinking and, words and slurring. And I gotta say, there were some scenes, Marisol, that I don't think were for branding, right? You did show up a little lit to certain events, and then to try to throw it on Dr. Nicole and say, well, you're a violent drunk. And Dr. Nicole was like, what are you talking about? She was like, well, when you punched me at your engagement party. Thank God for the shady Bravo editors, because we looked back and it wasn't her punching her. It was her removing her arm forcefully. I will give her that, from her for trying to hold her when Dr. Nicole was getting upset about Alexia lying on her about, her sleeping with every man at the office that she practices at. So I'll give you the branding, Marisol, but you got to be honest. You did show up to a couple of scenes slurring your words, right? Like you did not look fit, and there were interactions that the women had with you where they were just like, "Please sit down, you're drunk." That didn't come out of nowhere. So you do have to address that as well, and not try to, throw focus onto someone else when people are noticing a change in your behavior. You look great though. You look great. Um although I absolutely agree that nobody should tell Dr. Nicole that she just needs to get over the emotional, physical, and mental trauma that she has with her father. I also think that, and I said this before, I think that she needs to stop allowing this relationship to be covered on camera. Here is why. Your father is not comfortable with this conversation, and it will always look like he's denying what happened because he's trying to preserve his image on camera. I feel like if you really want to fix it with your dad, do it off camera. And I do. I think you do want to get a better relationship with your father, but I feel like you need to take that relationship out of this show and work on it in real life, because if you want it to get better, reality TV is not the way. It's not the way to go. And my suspicions, I want to talk about this. My suspicions about Larsa and Junior's relationship being a full PR stunt is this. Because when Dr. Nicole was talking about her relationship with her father, she also lets Andy know that his girlfriend, who I did not know was 29, keep your antennas up, girl. Your father's girlfriend is actually is scamming him. Let's be real. She don't want nothing. Don't know 29-year-old want nothing with a 79-year-old other than financial, like money. Put me in the will, paw. Like she should have some concern. But Dr. Nicole said that she had a problem with her calling her a hoochie mama. And while she's, still wiping away her tears, talking about her relationship with her dad, Larsa jumps in out of nowhere. We got to stop with the age stuff. Age is nothing but a number. Like, we should not judge people because there's a difference in age. Like, age doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Like, I don't think her relationship is predatory, but you sound like a predator. Talk about age doesn't matter. Okay, our Kalisha, like, what are you talking about? It does. It does matter. Age absolutely matters in a relationship. But the reason why this confirmed for me that this relationship is a PR stunt, because this was not about Larsa. This moment was not about her. She jumped into the conversation to still focus. And the way that she was able to still focus is to talk about her relationship with someone who is, let's be honest, has a much more prominent name than she does. Not saying that the Pippin name does not travel far, right? But there's a difference when you married into it than when you're the legacy from that name, right? So her jumping in, inserting herself, and bringing her up her relationship with Junior just let me know that this is all for press and promo, right? Because let's be real here. She studied under the Kardashians. She is a student of the Kardashians. So she knows what she needs to do and how she needs to do it. She knows, with her back in the day looking like a soccer mom, that she was not going to be able to attract current black men who are in the spotlight to bring her into that spotlight as well. What she was looking to go after, something young and dumb and looking for attention, right? Looking for a nice little side piece on their arm, right? She knows the way that she looked before, she could not do that. So what do? You attract black men by putting on things of a black woman, right? But then you have this step up by not having to deal with the things that come with actually being a black woman. So you can put on a costume, you can give them the silhouette that they like, you can talk a certain way, put in the box braids that tear out your roots, because the box braids are not meant for your hair, but you can put on all of that stuff, right? And you can still be on his arm and not have that struggle. So you're easy to him in that relationship. But what he does for you, although you probably don't even have any intention of really being with this man, but he gives you a spotlight through his fame. And that's something that she's used to, right? But when you want to switch gears and you want to get something a bit more prominent, you want to get somebody that people are talking about now, or somebody with a name that will keep you in the press, what do? You got to switch it up, because you got to attract them young boys. You got to attract them young boys that want money and want attention right now. You're not trying to get them old black men who are, golfing at some, elite Jack and Jill golf course in Atlanta. You don't want them because ain't nobody talking about them. But you want to get the ones that people are talking about, because then that brings attention to you, and then you can monetize that attention. That's what's happening here. The both of them are monetizing attention. And, the press is eating it up. But who has better monetized the attention than the Kardashians? And that's who she studied under. Although she was a vet, she needed to get an updated version of the hoeing she was doing back in the day. You know what? I didn't mean that. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Let's move on. Let's move on. I was not expecting for Dr. Nicole and Gertie to be tag teaming Alexia the way they are. I will say, Alexia was a lot this season, right? But I was a bit shocked that Dr. Nicole and Gertie was just on her neck. She could not speak. Even Andy was like, "Oh wait, hold on, we're not there yet." Wait, he's never had to scream this early at a reunion. He had to get everybody back in their corners because Dr. Alexia and Gertie were, because Dr. Nicole and Gertie were ready for Alexia. Anything she said, they was on it. Girl, bye, be quiet. Like, you know what I mean? That's not what you said. You think you're a star? Like, we're not all stars. No, you were saying it to tear women down. Like, they were ready for her. I was shocked, baby, and so was Alexia. She was not ready. She didn't feel like the star on that reunion. Did y'all catch that little shade when Dr. Nicole, when Marisol called Dr. Nicole Amex? She was like, "Oh, okay, Amex," to Dr. Nicole. And Dr. Nicole was just like, "Oh, you know what? Hopefully you can get a cosigner so you can know what it's like to own one." Oh, that little spicy Latina can read. Marisol was stuck. There was nothing she could say. She's so quick with it. That's why I'm telling you. That's why I go up for Dr. Nicole, Jennifer Aiden, and Candace, because the older castmates always try to tear them down, but they are never ready for their reads. I'm telling you, you know that your reads are vicious when after you give a read, the person who attacked you immediately acts like the victim. That's how you know you got them, because they don't have anything else to come after you, but they either sit there stuck or they act like what you said to them is worse than anything that they've ever done to you. Child, maybe. And I didn't even know that. I was like, you can get a cosigner for a credit card? Maybe you can get a cosigner so you can, hopefully you can get a cosigner so you can know what it feels like to own one. I didn't even know anything about that. Thank you, Dr. Nicole, for opening up my eyes. Let me get a co-signer. I also want to say this. Larsa was doing a lot of defending Alexia, and it was very odd to me, right? But as I continue to put two and two together, I realized that Larsa was trying to still focus from everything that was happening with Alexia. Why? Because this reunion was going to be focused on Alexia a lot, because Alexia has said and done a lot, and a lot of people have beef with her, right? So Larsa just kept on jumping in and defending her. And I'm just like, you really were very silent when things were happening to Alexia. Why are you so vocal now? Stealing attention. Stealing attention. Why? Because she can monetize this attention. I got you. I see you clearly, sis. Clearly. That's why Tamron got you together. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about the Real Housewives of Miami. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Oh, I love it. It's one of the best reboots of this franchise. I will give them that. I don't know what's happening with Roni Legacy, but I just feel like if they're going to reboot The Real Housewives of New York, that they need to take this production team. It's what not even a half an hour plane ride from Miami to New York. Let's get that production team over there, and let's give us a real Housewives of New York reboot that we deserve, because the one they're working on, girl, I don't know. Jesus, what is that? You will not be Atlanta over here. Is that a fruit fly? I gotta get that out of here, because my family decided to go vegan for Lent, and now we got all this damn fruit that nobody eats. Anyway, hey Zena. Zena said yes. Marcus owns a sneaker boutique in Miami. That's okay. That's what it is. Zena said he collaborates a lot with the Jordan brand and Nike to release a ton of exclusive sneakers directly to his store. Okay. Ken said it's definitely a PR stunt. I think Marcus benefits from it more than Larsa. Absolutely agree. I can see her doing what they claim that Lori Harvey is doing. Absolutely. She's doing the same thing. She's doing like Larsa, Lori Harvey, all of these women, right, that make a name for themselves by just being pretty and dating fine Black men, are doing, let's talk about it, are doing what Kris Jenner, Faye Resnick, and Nicole Brown Simpson used to do back in the day. This is before social media. If you look at OJ's clique back in the day, right? And if you look at them at like weddings or whatever, or you just see like old throwback pictures of them hanging out, you will see that same clique of women. Let me tell you something. They were running through them Black athletes like a Tomb Raider, getting coins, getting kids, and living their best life. They used to, I'm telling you, if you go look at throwback pics of them, they was a mess. But you know, they lucked out because there was no social media back in the day. So you couldn't really catch them like you could, like you could catch these boards now. You can catch on to what they're doing because they were just so smooth. And there was no social media. So they benefited from that in a sense. But what Kris Jenner did was teach her daughters the game. And I don't care what nobody says. You can be mad at that woman, you can dislike that woman, but she taught them the game, and them heifers listened. And look at them now. I wouldn't want to switch places with them because, listen, I don't care how much money I get from it. I'm just not going to let Black men embarrass me publicly. You can't pay me enough to go through what Chloe is going through. Absolutely not. You couldn't pay me enough to be married to a Kanye. And Kim, if you really had some real Black girlfriends, they would have let you know what it was from jump. Anyway, but that's basically what you do, right? You cling on to these men that are in the public eye, and you build a name for yourself that way. I don't mind it, right? Because women are, we were essentially treated like second-class citizens, still are in this day and age. There's strides, but you know what I mean? If you don't want to be tricked, pay us equally, right? Give us the same career opportunities that you give men. If that is not the case, then women are just going to have to trick on you to get wealth that you're able to get so easily. That's just the way it goes. NC said, I didn't like that they moved Gertie to the end of the couch and put Adriana, a friend of, in the middle. Wonder if they're trying to send Gertie a message to step her game up. No, I feel like they did that because Adriana only came out to talk about her beef that she's going to have with Alexia. Oh my God, today. Hold on. Lord. The door is not locked. Come on.
Hey, Star family.
Hey, Star family, Mama Star.
Toya Star is here.
Did you get your glasses while you were out?
Nicole, NikkiStar, get on
Where
live.
did y'all go?
Hey, Star family.
You didn't bring nothing back.
Hey, Star family.
Well, Mom, we don't do that. We don't have to ask for anything.
Nicole,
We're out.
you're
We're
on
doing
NikkiStar. You're on live.
I sure am.
Where's Lauren?
Are you kidding me? Star Family? Child.
It looks great on camera, though. I liked it on camera. She looked beautiful. I love Marisol's look. It was giving wealthy mother of the bride. You know what I mean? Like billionaire wife kind of mother of the bride look. I loved it. Give Me Shelter said, besides Dr. Nicole and Gertie, how do the other women make money? Because they certainly are resentful and mean to the ladies for no reason. Listen, this happens on all these housewife shows. The women do this. The older women hate on the younger women, and the women who had to marry into wealth, right, are mad at the women who are born into wealth or the women who are able to accumulate their own wealth. So they just have vendettas against them, and there will not be anything that these women can do to fix that because they will forever be jealous of them. It just is what it is. I loved it. I loved it on camera. Hated it in the pictures. Well, Dr. Nicole said it. Dr. Nicole was just like, I have my own money when I came to the relationship, and all my relationship did was just maximize the money that we already have. Like, I get a nice coin, but Mom, pick your feet up. Excuse me. I get a nice coin, but I also have a man who does not want me to spend my coin because he has so many other. Mom, leave me alone. Why are you harassing me? And you about to sit here and harass me with the Star family. Misty said both Cuban blonde Barbies batter up. Who? You know what? Speaking of Cuban, baby, let's talk about it real quick before I get into the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So I think, Ken, you were the one who shared this on Twitter, but Alexia's son is in some mess. What is surprising? What is surprising about that? Alexia's son is in some mess. Let's talk about it. So Alexia's son, his Instagram fingers are at it again. So this headline alone is insane. Real Housewives of Miami, Alexis Echeverria, violent criminal thug son, Peter Rosello, who assaults the homeless and his girlfriend, thinks a fairy shouldn't be Black or Iranian. And this is from a Disney post. Puberty posted this, reposted a post of from Disney of Yura Shahidi playing Tinkerbell in the new upcoming Peter Pan and Wendy. And Peter, he responded under that, let's just be grateful that Peter and Wendy are still white. And somebody responded, yikes. They also said, meanwhile, you play a bum who slurs his words on TV in real life. Yikes. But I just wanted to talk about that because that from her son, I'm sorry, Alexia, but that confirmed everything that I always felt about you. Your son thinking like that and being bold enough to write that kind of ignorance confirmed everything that I felt about you. Confirmed. I didn't want to say it, but my ancestors scream when you get on the camera, when you come on my TV screen. Everything that I felt confirmed. Because who he learned that from? Not the father. He'd been in prison all his damn life. So who he learned that from? Okay. NC said, Alexia making enemies unnecessarily. That comment she made to Lisa at the end about Lindy being the way he is because she allowed it was mean. I don't think she knows how to be nice. Here is why. She was somebody who was married to, what do they call him? Cocaine cowboy or something like that. One of the biggest kingpins in the drug game back in the 80s and 90s. When you are married to somebody who is violent and evil like that, and you were able to look away as he not only kills communities with the selling of that poison to, let's be real, they get their money from rich people, but they do make a lot of coin selling to impoverished communities as well, right? But when you can look away while he does that, while also looking away while people disappear and it's absolutely linked to him, like when you can lie with somebody who is not only poisoning communities, but slaughtering people for less. How are you not in some way a party to what he's doing, and also someone who probably feels the same way? So I think that she doesn't believe that she's a mean girl because her behavior has been accepted, because that is what was accepted at that time. She was probably worse. There's probably people in Miami who has terrible stories about her. She was probably choking and beating up on people and thinking that it's okay because of who she was connected to, right? So I think that she feels like she's being nice, but I don't think she's ever or she's had to be nice and kind and treat people equally in a very long time. So for her, this makes sense. Like this is acceptable in that world. I don't know of many women who were willingly, participating in relationships with men like that, who aren't just like the men in some kind of way. Because how could you look away from that, right? How could you look away from that and be okay? You can only do that if you're, like him in some kind of way. Missy said, I bet Alexia and Nicole are the Cuban blonde Barbies and both married rich men. So Nicole is going toe to toe with her. Probably. Ken said, did you mention how Alexia kept accusing Gertie of emasculating her husband? No, I didn't talk about that. I don't think they got to that at this reunion. Did they? Did they talk about that? Because Andy kept on saying, we're going to get to it. There was a lot of stuff they were ready to start off right off the bat, but I don't think we got to that yet. All natural, Bree said, and that's the real issue Alexia has with Gertie. She thinks that Gertie's place as a Black woman is to be the help. Yes. And also the fact that Gertie has, notoriety, but it's a legal kind of notoriety, you know what I mean? And that she's also just as successful, if not more, than Alexia, and does not need a man to, give her this lifestyle. She can do it for herself. These women on the show hate women who can do that. They hate women who could do that. So Steph said, Alexia needs to be glad she's not locked up or dead for being married to a drug dealer. Her character has been suspect from day one. Absolutely. JG says she definitely knows she's a mean girl and thinks that this is cute, spicy. Yeah, she is definitely the kind of person who would be like, oh, I'm a Latina. That's how we are. No, you were married to a drug kingpin. That's how you are. That's how you are. That's how you are. Give Me Shelter. We're going to end with Give Me Shelter, and then we're going to get into New Jersey. Give Me Shelter said, that's my problem with Alexia. She talks really rough to the men and about them, but then becomes a Karen when they fight back. Yes, because she's probably used to, her man, making the men disappear, right? But now she's with this straight lace guy, and so that just can't happen. So what can she weaponize now? Her whiteness. That's what it is. So Steph said, I tried to say Alexia had an issue with Gertie being Black and successful, but people in the comments attacked me. I don't know why they would attack you when you're right. Sorry you had that experience. JG said, all of the cast is a side eye. I used to love Lisa until I seen she and Lenny supported Trump. Big cringe. Guys, to be honest with you, there's not a lot of wealthy people who like rich or wealthy people who are not, Trumpers or just conservatives in general, because at the end of the day, they do not want to pay the taxes that they should. So they're always going to vote for that party because that party is always going to make sure that the 99% is squeezed and they are able to flourish. I would be very, like, the only person who I think is a Democrat in this franchise in general is her name Carolyn? Carolyn from the Real Housewives of New York and Lisa Black. I think that's it. I feel like everybody else is a Republican, even the Atlanta ladies. Southern Black people are something else. Some Southern Black, especially the ones in Texas, child, we're not going to talk about it. I have seen some things. I need the Black and Mexican community in Texas to do better. Y'all got to do better. Not all, but I've seen some things. But yeah, at the end of the day, they're going to go with who, protects their money. When you get to a certain financial place, nobody cares about who you lay down with. Nobody cares about what race you have. You have the race that you have the race. You have the power to attain that race that has the power in this nation. Green is white. So I'm not shocked at all. Not shocked at all. Tracy says, Star family, please like the video. It helps the channel grow. We're looking to get to 175K by the summer. It's the winter. We can do it. We got rid of Brenna. All things are possible.
Like and share. Like and share. Like and share.
Let's move on to the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Why is Melissa teaching her daughter how to drive in a Sprinter van? Like that big car. I'm just like, do you want her to crash it? And it's a nice new car too. I'm just like, girl, send her to a driving school and, save your car. It was so crazy that she had that little girl in that big truck and getting frustrated that she was afraid to drive it. I'm afraid to drive that, and I'm an adult. Since we're here talking about Melissa, I want to say this. I can 1000% confirm at this point that she has always been the problem. I'm sorry. We just can't throw this on Teresa anymore. Melissa has always been the problem because she is supposedly teaching her daughter how to drive. And then all of a sudden she turns the conversation and she's just like, have you been talking to your cousins? I want you to know that no matter what your aunt or your cousin says about me or your father, they're still your family. I don't want you to get upset with them or not talk to them. And our daughter stopped and was just like, we don't talk about you guys. We have a good relationship. Like, there are no issues. Oh, okay, but I just want to make sure that no matter if they say bad things about me and your father, I want to make sure that you are okay with them because that's family. Melissa is the problem because what she is doing is acting like she's doing the right thing or acting like she's trying to make peace when she's actually sowing seeds of discord in her daughter's mind about her cousins. Right. So then what will happen is her daughter will start having issues with her cousins and Melissa could be like, see, it's Teresa. She doesn't want the family to be together. No, Melissa, it's you. I hate to say it because Teresa, I have seen some things, but she has not been the nicest to Melissa. But from everything that I have been seeing thus far, I'm just like, Teresa was right from jump. Right. It was always Melissa. It was always Melissa. Melissa, you're not beating these charges. There's no way because there's no reason. Like, why would you say that to your child? Who told you that's not how she thinks and that's not the relationship that she has with her cousins? So why would you keep on going when she told you that there was no issue? You have always been the problem. Jennifer, why are you having a sit down with Melissa and talking to her about Margaret? She is good friends with Margaret. She is going to go back and tell Margaret that is what happened on this in this episode. Right in the next scene, she was telling Margaret everything that you said, and she was also putting a little Melissa twist on it to make Margaret get even more enraged about the things that you said. I go through this with Candace a lot, not so much with Dr. Nicole because Dr. Nicole has done a full 180, right? She has found her worth in her voice, and she is not letting Alexia tear her down. But you and Candace do this often. The women mistreat you on the season, humiliate you, embarrass you. Even though you're right, you come back and you're so apologetic and you want to make amends with them. And the only way you can make amends with them is if you grovel at their feet. And then when you get upset, when they do something disrespectful to you, you take this stance of, well, that's not fair because you do this to me. But I'm like, they're always going to be that way. So you cannot reason with your enemy. They don't like you. So I just don't understand why you keep on trying to have a civil relationship with people who do not like you. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. I feel like you and what's her name? The daughter of the Confederate. that clan princess on this show, Danielle, I feel like you and her just need to link up. Teresa's ready to get off this show. So, take notes from her as much as you can, but you need to link up with her and bring somebody else on the show. And you guys create your own powerful clique. Danielle's carrying this aside. People are going to like this group until they find out about Danielle. So I'm saying you got to build, and you got to build fast. You got to build fast, but you need to stop apologizing to these women because they do not like you. They will always find a reason to tear you down because they do not like you. Stop talking to them about your marriage. Stop talking to them about the beef that you have with other women that they're friends with. It's never going to work in your favor. It's never going to work in your favor. Stop talking to them. So we have this event at Jen Fessler's place, and all the ladies come. And because Melissa has told Margaret what Jennifer said, Margaret is already on a 10, right? So as soon as Jennifer opens her mouth, she talks about, she tells Margaret tells Jennifer that she didn't like what she said, and then these two start fighting back and forth. I will say the reason why I would like Margaret to stay on the show is because she's very messy. I do get annoyed that nobody, catches her. I'm like, do y'all watch the season to see how Margaret is messy and how terribly she stirs the pot? They act like they don't see it. That's my only issue with the rest of the cast. I don't have an issue with Margaret being messy because you need that character on a show like this. And also, this war between her and Jen is just, sad to say, good TV, because they was going back and forth, word for word, bar for bar. You don't have a family. You tear up families. Well, at least I got a man that loves me. They were just going back to back, word for word, bar for bar. So while they are going back and forth, Margaret just decides to get up and leave because, at this point she's defeated. Jennifer has gotten the best of her because whenever she brings up that she broke up a happy marriage, Margaret just gets hurt. And, Jen always lets her know that her kids don't rock with her because, she broke up several homes. So Marge gets up and she leaves and she's upset. Then Jen Fessler out of nowhere is like, oh, no, you don't leave my home. You stay. And I think she's going to try to make everybody work it out. She goes over to Jen and asks her to leave. And Teresa was like, well, if she's leaving, I'm leaving. I'm like, finally, Teresa sticks up for Jen. So they get up to leave. And I'm just like, Fessler lady, let me just tell you this. I know that you came on to this show with Margaret being your friend, but I want to say this. It would be best for you not to pick sides, especially this early on. Here is why. You don't have to drag Margaret to Jennifer Aiden or anything like that. You just need to stay out of it because Margaret always falls out with women that she brought on the show. So if I were you, I would stay out of it. That goes for the Whoville chick, Rachel. I think her name is Rachel. I would stay out of this war going on between Jennifer Aiden and Margaret. Here is why. The show, no shade, but them editors are going to embarrass you when y'all fall out with Margaret and they, show this footage of you blindly defending her, not knowing that this woman is talking about you, spreading all kinds of rumors, sharing your tea to get a storyline going because she doesn't want to talk about her business going bankrupt or her being sued. So you guys are going to have egg on your face when she embarrasses you by telling your business on this show, because she would rather talk about everybody else than what's going on with her. Yes, that's your friend. All I'm saying is I wouldn't be caught on camera doing too much defending and taking too many sides for her because it's just the history of Margaret. You two are going to fall out and it's going to be ugly. Stay woke. That's why y'all need to watch these shows before y'all come on it. I know y'all all like, oh, I just haven't been watching them like that. I've caught up on a few episodes. You need to watch the whole season. And then you need to go back from the beginning of it to see how these relationships formed, how this person operates. Did this person grow or are they still a villain? You need to study on the environment that you are going into. And I don't think Jen did her work. I do not think that she did her work. I think that Rachel did her work and she thinks that she's siding with the right team. She's going to get a wake-up call as well. Did Jennifer say that Margaret looked like BoJack Horseman? This is why they need to leave her alone. This is why they need to leave her alone. That's all I want to talk about for this show. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. JG said, I love Jen with the curls, by the way. She looks cute. I love her with the curls too. I love her with the curls as well. Give me shelter said, I'm so glad you caught the game Melissa was playing. Listen to Bravo's docket, Bravo's docket Gorga episode. Joey and Melissa have always been the problem. Yeah, I just feel like Teresa gave them ammo by, being messy on the show and saying things about them. But everything that I'm seeing after watching this show from the beginning to now, Melissa is the problem. Melissa is the problem. I have tried to side with her, but girl, you and that eeny weeny teeny super guy, Italian Rumpelstiltskin, y'all the problem. It is y'all at this point. And I think next episode, when Teresa meets with her therapist and her therapist is just like, well, if they don't want to fix it, then maybe it's just time for you to move on. I think that's when we're going to see Teresa cut them off and just move forward. And then they're going to start doing things like making sure her nephews and her niece don't talk to her, to try to get under her skin, to force her to interact with them. Because if she's not interacting them, they're not getting the screen time that they desire. Because it's one thing to talk about Teresa and then you're talking about her because you're about to see her at an event. It's another thing to just talk about her and you have no interactions, especially with somebody who this show was created around after season 2. We're going to see a much different side. I think that's when we're going to see the change in Teresa. That we see in her now. I think after she meets with that therapist, that's when the change is going to start. Isatasha said, no, the problem is still Teresa and Joe. Perhaps their parents for messing them up, child. But if you talk to Danielle or Dolores, that's just the Italian culture. And I'm just like, I don't think so. But again, not my culture, not my business. Paisha Roel said, Melissa included the Judices girls in her podcast. They are entitled to speak on what's going on. Absolutely. CM said, Barge kept lying and changing her stories, but Jennifer didn't. Had Melissa listened. Yep, that's the thing. I'm like, I want Jennifer and Teresa to just stay out of it. Stay out of it, because when you are not in a mix fighting with these people and going back and forth, they don't have nothing to do, right? They don't have nothing to talk about when you two are not giving them so much ammo. When y'all just fall back and just do your fun little reads and just have fun and do like cute things together, because you guys are entertaining with mess or without mess. When y'all stick to that and they don't have nobody to fight with, they're going to turn on each other and it's going to get ugly. And unfortunately, it's going to be great TV. April said, the messiness of it all. I'm here for it, though. Yeah, well, that's what they all said. Even Teresa confirmed that. She was just like, yeah, because Margaret just has a lot of dirt on people. I am cordial with her, but I have taken a lot of steps back from her. JG says, the girls don't even realize once Jen and Teresa leave, the scene is done. Happens every time, because as soon as Jen and Teresa was like, oh, I'll leave with her. As soon as that happened, that scene was cut. They don't realize it. They're not smart. Y'all too busy hating instead of monopolizing this woman's time so that you can monopolize camera time. Yeah, let me tell you something. If Larsa was there, oh, baby, that scene would have went a lot differently. Jazzy Go said, I don't understand the Joe and Melissa hate. I've watched from the beginning. Gia even said they were at their house all the time. Now it's, oh, I've never seen my aunt and uncle. These kids have no respect. Well, they're like, Gia's a full adult at this point. So she can absolutely speak on other things that her aunt, her uncle, and her aunt are doing to her mother. The kids can also speak on things that they are saying on their podcast about them. It's their right. It is their right. We're going to end with Jazzy right here. Jazzy said, even Jennifer's husband knows she's a mess and she can't handle it. I'm not saying that she's not. People who are a mess are great for reality TV. There's nobody sane starring on reality TV right now. None of them are. None of them are. You have to get the wackadoodles to create great TV. The wackadoodles with no shame. So I'm not saying that that's not the case, right? But what I am saying is that none of these ladies are her friend. Maybe Teresa, but Teresa don't do too much. Don't do too. I love Teresa, but she will go to bat for a man, not a woman. She is not a girl's girl. But I think she needs to be wise and realize who has her back and who does not. Let's move on to Married at First Sight, Houston. And then we're going to end with the UK version. What happened? Where the hell are my notes? Hold on, guys. Married at First Sight. Here we go. I'm just like, where are my notes? Let's talk about Aris and Jasmine. Let me bring their pictures up. Aris and Jasmine. Who told this man that he looked like Morris Chestnut? I feel like somebody told him that, and he's been hanging on to that for the rest of his life. I think it was a cute auntie having a cute moment with him, and I feel like that has just changed the trajectory of his life, and he has thought this about himself from that moment since, from that moment on, right? Because he is walking throughout life like he is such a prize of a man, and that Jasmine just needs to be happy to have him on his side, because Jasmine is taking care of him while he's dealing with COVID. And he, while he's, sick in his bed, he's like, oh, I'll give her a 7 for taking care of me. I mean, it's not bad though, but it's a 7. Excuse me, sir? Like, the audacity of this man, the way he talks about Jasmine and himself, delusional. Absolutely delusional. So when he gets fresh out of quarantine from having been sick with COVID, he decides that he wants to connect with his wife in a way sexually, because they didn't have that connection, because he was asking her first sit down that they had on their honeymoon what her favorite sexual positions are, and he didn't even know her middle name, right? So she felt uncomfortable, one, that he was asking that and they didn't know a lot about each other, and two, because she was on camera and she did not feel comfortable having that conversation. So he decides to play, at his big age, never have I ever, right? And really this game was just a way for him to shock her with all of the things that he has done sexually, and not only shock her, but shame her, because she has not done these things. So it makes it look like he's this master of sex, and she is so uneducated in those areas, and who best to train her than him. I feel like he's doing these things to manipulate her into a place where she feels the need to do things that she necessarily does not want to do, but she's going to do those things to prove to him that she is worthy. And I feel bad for her. Because this ain't no prize. I don't know why everybody in his life act like he a prize, but the way he is leading out, a prize does not act like that. Let's be clear. Jasmine is the prize in this relationship. And at the end of the day, Aris needs to marry his cousin, because she, at this point, is the perfect match for him. It is not Jasmine. Jasmine, know your worth. I hope he doesn't beat her down like Chris did. What was her name? It wasn't Abigail. It was Chris and April. The way he beat her down emotionally and mentally. I hope this doesn't happen with Jasmine. I want her to get out of this situation. I do not like him for her at all. Terrible matchup. This is a matchup that I actually do enjoy. I really, really do like Christopher and Nicole. I will say, on the, in the real world, right? You will look at this relationship and you would be like, you know what, Nicole, you got to slow down. Asking, constantly asking Christopher where he's at in the process, or if he is in love with her, is too much, right? But when you look at it, she's asking her husband when he will know when he loves her. And I don't think that she's asking for too much, right? because, and this happens a lot with the men. Christopher wants to pump the brakes on, like, let's just slow down. Let's get to know each other, like, before, we get to this point where we're saying that we love you, because he says that he said that he loved his partner, his last partner, a little bit too early in the relationship, and things fell apart. But then I'm just like, you don't want to pump the brakes on marrying a stranger. You don't want to pump the brakes on having sex with someone that you've only known for a couple of days. You don't want to pump the brakes on moving in with somebody that you barely know, and cohabitating with this person. But you want to pump the brakes on when you are going to say, I love you. And it's just always so weird that the men are so eager to sleep with the women in this process, but not eager to show them any kind of emotional affection. Or like, if that is a desire, if that's something that Nicole needs, what is the problem with saying it now, right? Because you said it in your vows, right? Like, you vowed to be with this person forever. So why all of a sudden, like, everything in this relationship was so rushed, but now this part has to take time? Why? When you both came on this show, you agreed that everything was going to be rushed. That's just so weird that these people get married to strangers, sleep with strangers, go on a honeymoon with strangers, live with strangers. And then when they get, after all of that, after the fun, right? After the fun, it's, oh, let's take this slow. Let's treat this like it's a normal relationship. It's not. It's not. If you can enter her, you can tell her that you love her. What's the problem? Because obviously Nicole loves him and she's just waiting for him to say it. And I'm just like, that, Christopher, that. So she's waiting for him to say it so that she can reciprocate and say that she loves him as well. Also, and I'm saying this, I love this couple, right? So these are light critiques. Christopher, I did not think that it was smart to tell your wife, who has body dysmorphia, to tell her on camera in front of all of these millions of viewers that you said on camera that she was a little thicker than what you normally go for, but you still find her attractive. Now, I get that he was saying that to her because he wanted her to be aware, he wanted her to know about it before she watched it. I absolutely understand that. But I do not think that it was smart to tell her on camera. I think it would have been best for him to have that conversation with her when they talk about, like, this is what you're going to see. This is my first impression. This is what I said. That was wrong. I should have said it a different way. Like, I think she would have been a bit more forgiving and not as self-conscious if you did not say it again on camera now to her, right? So she's acting like everything's okay, but you can tell that Nicole was visibly disturbed by that because, like she said, she has a body dysmorphia. She's had issues with her body her entire life. Now, I will say this, Nicole. Somebody who grew up in Philly, which is a hour express train ride from New York, someone who has studied in New York and lived in New York, I was actually shocked to know that New York is full of fitness influencers. What part of New York you in? I was like, the city known for chopped cheese and pizza is the influencer playing ground, fitness influencer playing ground. I had no idea. Now, you're going to be fit in New York City because you literally walk everywhere, right? And you do see people running, and there are fitness people, but I did not know that. Now, I feel like you could say that about LA, but New York, I kind of got to disagree with that because I'm just like, really? They eat carbs over there. I don't think so. I do not think so. Also, let's talk about the word thick and the way they're using it. This is why I always tell non-Black people to keep ebonics out of your mouth. Now, you might think it's fun and it's cute and it's trending because there's nothing that we do that won't trend, right? And I get it. But when I say don't use it, I say it because you don't have the history or the understanding of it. Now, thick is an English word, right? And it is used. But thick and ebonics means something totally different. And you have these two people arguing or having a disagreement within themselves about this, the context of what Christopher said about Nicole's body. And they're using thick in the Ebonics way, but they don't understand the term, which is a positive, right? It's a compliment. So it's just so crazy watching these two adults argue about a term that they're using incorrectly. Because Nicole is like, well, he called me thick. And I'm like, that's a compliment. But he wasn't saying it like a compliment, right? So it was just like, she was just like, I call myself a thicker person. But when you call yourself thick, you're basically saying fat. So this is the thing. Thick is not a cute way of saying fat. That is not what thick means in Ebonics. So just, if you're going to use the term, just have understanding. And I do not think that they had understanding, which was what was causing a lot of the confusion in their conversation. Let's move on to Clint and Gina. Another terrible match. This couple was clearly put together for entertainment. This is a terrible match. This is a terrible match. I do not see them working at all. I will say this, though. Ever since Clint said that he thinks that Gina was on the show to promote her business, I haven't been able to shake it. I have not been able to shake it because I'm just like, Gina, you are not attracted to this man. You do not want to make this work. So why are you here? She's giving me, I'm really a good person now, but she's giving me, I'm really a good person, but she actually is a good person. So you like Gina, but I can't say that it doesn't look like you're staying on this show to promote your business because you're not attracted to Clint. So the best thing to do just to get out of the process, but you want to be a part of everything, just not with him. And it's giving, I'm a really good person. And I don't want that for you because we like you, but it's just like, girl, get out of this. You're not attracted to him. I think Clint is attracted to her. I think he knows that he has a good catch, but Gina, she doesn't want him. Get out of this, sis. Get out of it. Let's move on to close out with the bishop and the first lady of Married at First Sight, Houston. So in this episode, Kirsten meets Shaquille's mentees. Let's get into this job opportunity that he passed up on. I don't think that was all Kirsten. I think Shaquille also didn't want to leave the life that he's built here in Houston, and he also didn't want to stop mentoring his mentees. And I feel like if he moved, he would have to, that relationship probably, those relationships would probably have to end, right? So how old are his mentees? What I also want to talk about that is Kirsten was not, he said that he was doing it for her. He said that he left, he did not, he said no to that job. That would be great for his career and more money, but he said no to it because it was out of state. And he did that because he wanted to work on his marriage with Kirsten. But I was just like, Kirsten didn't seem okay with that, right? Because he was just like, I didn't tell her because I wanted to make that sacrifice and I didn't want her to feel responsible for that. But then you say that she's responsible for it. And it seems like she would have been more than happy to move out of state if you were going to make more money, right? Because Kirsten absolutely gives me that she's a Catwoman, right? Nothing wrong with that. Who doesn't want to be a Catwoman, right? I want to be a Catwoman with independence. You know what I mean? And I feel like you can't have that, or you probably can't. I don't know, but I'm saying it's for me in my house. I want to spend his money, but still make decisions about everybody's money. But anyway, she gives me that. I feel like she is somebody who was raised in the church to be a wife. I feel like she is somebody, if she did go to college, it was to get a husband. I think that this was always her goal in her future. So I'm not shocked that she's here, right? I feel like I've probably been confused about why some other people are here, but I'm not shocked about why Kirsten is here. I think that this was always going to be her path. She just found a way to get to it a bit quicker and, put in less time. Because when you see her home, her home is not a home, right? And I think her home is not a home because it's an apartment. I think that Kirsten wants to make a home when she has a house, a nice little 2-story home in a Black elite Houston area, Houston development. That's when she'll start to go to, Hobby Lobby and Z Gallery, you know what I mean? And start to put some things together in the home and get the little porch signs and things like that and put up the little spring wreaths. That's when she will start to do that, when she has the home that her husband is taking care of and paying, for everything. When she's a stay-at-home wife and mom, right? That's when she'll start decorating. But I feel like she has her home now, or her home before. It was in a certain way and it had a certain look because it was never going to be a place that she intended on being for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like she was just like, I got this apartment just because I needed to get out of my mama's house or something like that. But I'm planning on leaving this apartment and going to my home with my husband soon and very soon. So I'm not shocked by, her being on the show. And I also think that she would have been down for him taking a job where he's making more money, and she absolutely would have went with him. I think him not taking the job has more to do with his mentees than it has to do with Kirsten. That's all I wanted to say about this Married at First Sight. Houston, let's talk a bit before we get into UK real quickly. Did I lie? Did I lie? Did I lie? You know what? I disagree. I think that Shaq and Kirsten are the perfect couple. Like, if you grew up in the Black church, you've seen this couple many times. Many times. I think they fit. They fit. Maybe. He does look like Luke James. Everything all right? He does look like Luke James. But he looks like Luke, like he looked like he could be Luke James' twin. But while they were in the sack? While they were in the womb together, it looks like Luke James ate a bit of his embryo. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Chris and Paige. Thank you. Chris and Paige. That's what it gives me. That's what that relationship gives me. I just pray that Aries is a bit more strong mentally. I feel like at that time, Paige she had a lot going on. I hope that not Aries, but I hope that Jasmine sees it and she clocks in. She clocks in. You do. Sudalim said, I think he is feeling something, but he's scared. I hope that's it. Hey, Pettiest Betty, how are you? Denard said, Chris and Nicole are great. A little too much trauma bonding. I agree, Denard. I agree. Blue Jay said, pumping the brakes on marriage. This is the time to fall in love, to be vulnerable, and to be out of your mind. Love hard, and if it's not meant to be, let it go. Why not? Why not? You married a whole stranger. You can't say you love them? Why we got to take our time with that? That's crazy. Denard said, as a fellow Libra, Nicole speaks to me. Miss Gigi said, just got the Love is Blind notification. At least that one works. Wow, and I made that yesterday. Denard said, body dysmorphia is a killer. I agree. He should have talked about it off camera. Yeah, it makes sense. And I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think that he was doing it to be malicious. He just wasn't thinking. He was not thinking. Jasmine said, I think most of the men on these shows want the fun of the show, but not the real commitment. I have to agree. Blue Jay said, I think it's better to lie and not have said it all. He finds her attractive, so it's not like they are not compatible in the end. Yep. Denard said, Gina's business is brought up every scene. We saw the name in the episode. It's giving Bethany Frankel. It's giving Bethany Frankel. Me too. I actually like him. I feel like he's trying. I do feel like he's putting in some kind of effort. Hey Naya, how are you? How are you? She is a first lady through and through. Through and through. Naya said I came just in time because I think I shout out to the Black Church. Shout out to the Black Church. Denard said, I'm glad Shaq talked about his struggle with people hinting that he's gay. Me too. I'm glad that he talked about it. I am not saying that. I'm just saying the mentee something. How old are those mentees? It's something. And it could just be because I grew up in church, but a Black church, but it's given.
Oh, Lord.
My bell said, I thought they were in Nashville. Are they in Houston? They probably are. I mixed up Nashville and Houston. I apologize. I'm a Northerner. I'm learning the South. I'm learning the South. Let's move on to Married at First Sight UK. Let's move on to Married at First Sight UK. It's the mentees. It's the mentees. How old are these mentees? What are you mentoring them in? Let's move on to Married at First Sight UK. Y'all know I love him. Y'all know I love him. Y'all know I love this messy man. Messy and his messy family. That family is just as messy as he is because the mother was trying to fight his husband's best friend at the dinner table. She was like, well, love, you're doing a lot of talking, love. I love, it's something about ghetto British, if I'm making sense, like the Adele. That Adele kind of ghetto. I love it. I love it. He's my fave. He's a lot. He's annoying. You know, he does not say the right things all the time, but I love him. I just love him. I do feel like he's going to put his husband through it, but he let him know. He let him know that he's a lot. He let him know that he's a lot. This is Thomas and Adrian. And I you know, you just got to watch the show. He's a gem. He is a gem. I cannot wait to see how this plays out. No spoilers, please, UK people. But I love him. He is a mess. And his poor husband is just trying his best. But I think he knows. I think he knows that he is married to someone who just has a lot going on. Like, I think he's very aware of who he is, but I think he's also attracted to him, and probably this is the finest man he's ever been with. And I think he just wants to make it work. Hold on, I'm trying to get a picture of his friend. Hold on. Let me get a picture of his friend. I thought I had it. I think I had it on. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I just saw something, but I think this is a spoiler. So I'm gonna wait. But I did not see the. Now wait a minute. I didn't see these other people. Child, what is going on in this show? I just saw 4 new people. That's why I love this show. But I think that Adrian's friend, forgive me, I forgot her name. I think that she was being very sweet and trying to help out her friend. But I gotta be honest, sis, you were asking a lot of questions. I didn't even see you eat. I did not even see you eat. Now, Thomas is a lot, but I was on his side with this. He was just like, can I talk to him? Wait, let me not try to do that. Can I talk to my husband, love? He was like, you're doing a lot of talking, and I'm trying to talk to him. I'm trying to be with him. And I think that Adrian is just going to allow this to happen, not because of the process, but I think that Adrian is really attracted to him. Thomas is not. But Thomas said that he's going to, stay in a relationship to try to make it work. I will say this. Although I like Thomas, I hope that he's not terrible to Adrian. And I'm only 2 episodes in, so I don't know if things could change. But I hope that he's a sweetie to Adrian. I really, really do, because him being mean to Adrian, who is just so nonchalant and easygoing, I don't think would be a good look for him. But I was on his side concerning Adrian's friend, because she was just doing too much. Shanita and Jordan, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Shanita looks just like her mother. I love their moments together. I love this couple. No notes. I don't know if it's going to fall apart for them, but so far, so good. I absolutely love this couple. Can we just talk about how there were a lot of interracial couples on this show? I was just like, this will never happen in America. Maybe that's why some, not all, UK people say that y'all don't have like the racism that America has. I think you guys have the same racism. I just think your racism is a bit more posh, right? Our racism is ghetto. Like, it's just a mess, like in your face, just there. I think your racism is a bit more posh. And the only reason why I think that is because of Meghan Markle. Why in the hell is that white woman going through so much for marrying that prince? Right? So I think your racism is just a bit more posh, bit more, hidden. But I will say, I was shocked at all of these interracial couples, and like nobody had a problem. No, like, a black husband just walks out and this white woman is like, there's a lot of black women getting married to white guys on this show. And it's just like, my wife. And I'm like, oh, okay. If this was America, there would have been N-words. People fighting at the altar. I couldn't believe it. Wow. And then we have two, one bisexual, but we have 2 queer couples on the show. I will say that they are ahead of America in a lot of ways. Now, was Married at First Sight UK the first one, or was Married at First Sight America the first one? Which one? Because if Married at First Sight came second, it is embarrassing how progressed this show is. If America came first, that would be extremely embarrassing, because I was just like, wow, 2 queer couples, a bunch of interracial couples. What we doing? I was actually really shocked. And it's a really good show. It's a really, really good show. I also want to say, I love how they just get right to it. They get right to it. They don't drag out all of these specials or whatever. It's just like, these are the couples that we match. Let's see them get married. You know what I mean? Married at First Sight America just stretches everything out. You meet the couples, and on the same episode, you meet the mofos, you see them get married. I love it. I really, really do enjoy this format so much better than the American version. Is Duca wearing a piece? I feel like he glues this hair on, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like Whitney needs to help him style it. I don't have a good feeling about them. I just don't. I feel like Whitney got a lot going on, and I just don't know if Duca can handle it. And it also seems like Whitney was not impressed. It seems like when Whitney saw him, she was like, okay. Like, she was not, I'm like, Duca is cute. What's the problem? I don't have a good feeling about them. And that's sad, because Whitney's story, she had me in tears. I wanted to work out for them, but I don't have a good feeling. I also don't have a good feeling about this couple. They're gorgeous. They would make some great kids, but I don't think that April, this is George and April, I don't think that April should feel bad for being shocked that her husband has 4 kids. I will say this, the experts seem like they're doing a good job, but I feel like y'all just as messy as the American ones, because why would y'all put April with a man that got 4 kids?
Yeah.
With anybody, that would be a problem. Like, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely
too many kids.
That's too many kids. Now, I love the kids. We love the babies.
Yes, and I love him too, but too many kids.
And then he was acting some sort of way about it. I'm like, sir, you just dropped that you got 4 kids on her. Of course she gonna feel a little something. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if she walk off, and you can't be mad at her.
No,
you cannot be mad at her. Like 4 kids.
But I want to talk about Whitney. She needs to deal with whatever is going. She's very angry.
Whitney, are you sure you got the right Whitney and Duca?
Which one I'm talking about? The black girl.
Yes, Whitney is angry. Where? No, Whitney.
Mother died.
She's not angry.
Yes,
no, Mom, she's just a snob.
Her mother died.
Okay.
She has things to work out before she gets into a marriage.
Everybody does. I don't think that she's angry. God. She's not angry though.
No, she's something else. But Miss Uppity.
Oh, what was that accent?
She has to deal with.
I don't think she's angry. Well, we all do, and I'm not going to put that on her. I just think that she's a bit of a snob.
Well, that too.
And she wants things a certain way, because the way she looked at Duca, I was like, girl, he cute. What's the problem?
Yeah.
But she wasn't impressed. And I also think that I think she probably also dates like rich men, because she gives me that she only dates
she
like.
She needs to get with rich married men.
Oh, Ma, why are you coming at Whitney like this?
Rich married, because
I did not know you felt this way about her.
She needs to deal with her inner issues before she joins.
Oh no, I disagree. I disagree.
Come to my rescue.
No, I disagree. What do you have to say, Star Family? Yeah. I'm sorry, Whitney. I do not agree with her.
Well, the Star Family do.
Dr. Rhom said, I think Married at First Sight was first shown in the UK for once years ago, and they just started doing it again 2 years ago or so. Oh, okay. Okay. Bree53 said, I like both versions of Married at First Sight, though the non-US ones are better. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So you agree with my mom? I think she's a bit of a snob, but I like her. Oh, Australia was before UK. So this is what I think is going to happen, because I've been able to find the older seasons of Married at First Sight Australia. So I think what's going to happen is I'm not going to be able to watch this season until it's done, like with the UK version. Okay. So Mom, you're right. Tony said she's the worst. Oh, I had no idea. Some people said the UK cares more about appearances than America. The racism is so much more private, from what I hear. I think so. Midwife K said the only bad thing about Married at First Sight UK and Married at First Sight Australia is that when you're watching in real time, it's easy to get behind. New episodes from Sunday through Wednesday. Oh my goodness. You know what, UK, let's talk. What is going on when y'all have TV shows that have an episode every day? Love Island is like that. And because it comes on like 2 or so weeks after you get it on in the UK, and we get it here in America, I be having like 26 episodes to binge watch just to catch up, and I cannot do it. Why is y'all TV like that? Do y'all go outside? Y'all have an episode every day. I cannot do it. Oh, Bree said Mama Star is right. She's angry at the work for.
Yes.
Where is the next episode? I love Whitney. Tony said, wait.
Yeah, she is angry.
What is going on?
Like, do you be watching these shows?
Well, I get them late, so they have already.
No, I'm watching them at the same time.
But I didn't get that from Whitney, though, Mom.
Oh, she is such a snob, and she's mad. She's so angry, and I just feel like that she cried about her mother, and I understand. Mm-hmm. You know, grief. You go through so many emotions with grief, but she don't have to talk to people like that.
Well, girl, we get episode 3 tonight, so we'll watch it.
Maybe she needed to grieve before she came on this, go through different phases of grief before she came on this
Maybe
show.
this is how she's grieving coming on this show.
Not for me.
Okay. Blue Jay said, how old are the kids? Being a step parent requires a lot of patience and understanding.
Yeah.
So I understand.
They 10 and something and younger and all that.
Oh my goodness. Dr. Rhom said, I agree with Mama Star. She has issues. I need therapy. What? I keep on forgetting about this. What did Whitney do?
She needs therapy.
I'm only on episode 2.
Girl.
That's all we got. We get episode 3 tonight.
She's
OMG.
And I was able to see that from the time they introduced her.
And I don't get it. Is it the piece? Because Duka is cute.
Not the piece. Not even before Duka, when they introduced her.
Oh my goodness. Denora said we need to protect Duka at all costs. Girl, what is going on? I need to watch this 3rd episode now. Come on, Lifetime. Come on. Oh my goodness. Whitney is a full paid and needs help and therapy. What happened this season? Oh my goodness. Malak A said Mama Star clocked Whitney from day 1 because she only gets nastier.
Yes.
Tracy said, yes, listen to Mama Star. She is seeing it.
Yes, she's hurting. She's in a lot of pain. And she's spewing it out on everybody else. And I said, oh, she got to give me that.
OMG.
Yes.
Midwife K said, yes, the UK version is diverse. Australia, not so much. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised about that. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Star Family.
Tony said, Nikki, the US one is the best, then Australia. I don't even watch. The UK one is the best, then Australia. I don't even watch the US one anymore. To be honest with you, I'm watching the UK one. My mom watches Married at First Sight, the American version with me as well. But she has never been glued to the TV like she's glued with UK. I will say it's the superior show. It's out of all the Married at First Sights for me. I haven't watched Australia, so I don't know. But out of those two, it's the UK for me.
It's the UK for me too. But I already know that child, she needs, and I lost my mother, so I understand. But
I can't believe it. Deborah I said in the UK, they will mix it up. Their racism whispers, the US racism yells. That's a good description. That's a good description. I just feel like the US needs to catch up.
UK racism.
I talked about that with Megan.
Yeah, and with the king. When the queen and all that, them people was cussing him and her out.
Child. That is a good description. Because I just feel like America has, America is so far behind. The only thing they surpassed the UK in is racism. Like, y'all can catch up with every other thing. Because this show is like super progressive and I love it. I love it. Midwife K said you can probably find these episodes all on YouTube if you're not trying to wait on Lifetime. I'm going to look. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to look. Oh, okay. Malake said Duke isn't the best, but people hated Whitney so much. What did Whitney do? Denard said, I love Duke and the first couple that got married. They are so sweet and will definitely last. Mimi said, Whitney is a mess, but so is everybody else. The only difference is Mama don't pretend to be anybody but who she is.
That's right.
Okay, Mom. Deborah I said, Nikki, all of the episodes are on YouTube. So we are going to catch up on Married at First Sight UK this weekend.
Okay.
Wow. I actually like the experts. Do I have their picture? One of the experts is like a relationship guru here in the US. He used to be on like all the talk shows back in the day, but I haven't seen him for a while. And it's probably because he's in the UK. I love them. I think they have great advice. I like I said, I prefer the show and the experts for UK over America. I really, really do like them. Am I going to hate the experts? Let me know now. I do feel like they put some terrible matches together. Not all, but I mean, why would you put April, a woman with no kids, with a man that got 4? She's an instant wife and stepmom. That's too much. That's not fair. No,
theory.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that people who have kids should not be on the show.
I
but I feel like they
theory.
should have been like, George, now hold on. There's somebody who got 2 that's in front of you.
Yeah,
hold on, brother. Hold on.
One or 2, yes. Before, that's a handful.
That's a lot.
That's too much for someone who doesn't have any children. And I don't even know if she wants to have children or whatever.
Child, she got to rethink that.
Yeah, and then they're young, so there's a baby mama somewhere.
And then is it one baby mom child?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And
that's
then,
too much.
Yeah, and then they're young, and then they're fighting for their father's love and attention and affection. And me and him just got married.
Right?
You know
that's too much. Midwife K said, no, you won't hate the experts for the most part. Great. Yeah, he used to be a relationship guru over here. He was on all the he was doing that talk show circuit a lot back in the day. Me too. I like that as well. Midwife K said, I like the continual expert involvement, unlike the US. I do too. I also love how they just got to it. They just got right to it. They did not drag it out. It didn't seem like they were trying to do a commercial grab, right? Like, with like this Married at First Sight and The Bachelor does this and The Bachelorette, where they just drag out episodes and, give us all these part 1 and part 2s. And when it's really not necessary, Bravo does this with those 3-part reunions and stuff. It's not necessary. It's just basically a commercial grab where you're just trying to get commercials to buy. We're trying to get companies to buy commercials in between your shows. It's really not a good show. Really doesn't need another episode, but it's a money grab, and I just don't like it. I just love how they get right to the point. Deborah I said they love matching people who are on the opposite sides of wanting kids. Ciao. Tracy said, I'm watching the Australia season now, and baby, it's a messy lying, cheat, and walking out. Is Australia on YouTube? Let me know. Denard said, April was like, I don't want kids, so it's a lot that he has 4, LOL. George said he got divorced 4 years ago.
So the wife is still there in the picture.
Well, you got to be with all them kids.
Is young. So I got to deal with 4 kids and her. And if I discipline them, they're going to tell the mother, and then I'm going to have to deal with her.
Child, Sarah said I would have run far away if I was April. Yeah, I can't blame her for that. If she walks out, I can't blame her for that. 1 is too many. You don't just go from no kids to a full-time stepmom. Yeah, that is a lot. I don't have no
time to work on my marriage because I'm working on Kitty's got.
We're going to end here with Midwife K because we got to get into our next live for Love is Blind. Midwife K said, yes, Australia is on YouTube. It's definitely the most dramatic of the 3. Now, Midwife K, is it the new season? Because I'm having a problem getting a new season. Let your girl know. Dadar said, yeah, all 4 of George's kids are with his ex-wife. Well, at least it's one baby mama she got to tussle with. But girl.
Yeah, and then she's like,
couldn't have been me.
If she's one of those that say, tell me everything she doing, all of that.
Midwife Kate said the UK and Australia marriages aren't legal, by the way. They move different. You know what? America, come on. Because she gotta be at this point. She has to be. Oh, Denard said the oldest of George's kids is 19. I'm out.
One of them is 10 or something and something.
I'm out.
Some of them are young.
He got teenagers. I'm out. April should walk. Let me stop. Ooh, like you can't even get a nice car, right? You have to get a van. And April don't give me that she likes to ride in vans. That's nah. And I'm not saying that people with kids should not find love. I'm saying in this process, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, Midwife K said, yes, you can find them on YouTube. That's how I watch. So what I want to do this weekend is catch up on Married at First Sight UK and catch up on Married at First Sight Australia. Thank you all for letting your girl know. Anyway, fam, let me get out of here. I'm late for my Love is Blind live. Thank you all so much for joining me. Give me a few minutes. No, give me probably an hour or so I can do my Love is Blind live, and then I'll come back in here and put the timestamps in. But thank you all so much for wait, did I get hold on. I felt like I got another super chat. I just thought about that. Hold on. Because I know I got one. Thank you, Lord. I'm so sorry, Sebastian. Thank you for the super chat, Sebastian. Sebastian said, Alexia has a reckless mouth, considering she let her ex-husband on camera after that despicable act. He was in prison. What was he in prison for? I'm late for my live. Alexia's husband. I mean, it got to be murder.
Oh, no.
It gotta be murder. Rosella Mary Escobar in 1992, shortly before he was arrested and sentenced to 24 cocaine smuggling. Oh, he just was in there for. Yeah. He was just in there for cocaine smuggling. That's it. Well, Jess. But I'm like, yeah, he was just in there for drug charges.
Oh, that's enough, my love.
No, it absolutely is enough, but I thought it was murder. I thought that it was murder. But thank you, Sebastian, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Oh, I got another one. I'm so sorry, guys. Dolce Delicious said Alexia and Larsa were coming for Dr. Nicole so hard. They hate the fact that she makes her own money and then got a man who got more money who tricked on her. They don't like that. They don't like that. Because they got to date all kinds of tender-eyed killers to get some coin. Yeah, okay. I'm just checking to make sure I got all of my super chats. You know what? Let's get out of here. Love y'all. See y'all in the next live. Bye. Absolutely not. I'm not putting that in my search history.